What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, props off? What's up, Chubba? Wrong way. What's up? Dang, those are new people. Wrong way, FPV. What's up? I like when new people join. Um, I think we're all good. I'll turn you up a little bit more before we start. Um, Give me a sound check, D-Rec.
I'm here.
You sound good. Do you want me to call you D-Rec or Derek?
Hey, I answer to both. Whatever
All
works,
right.
man.
I like D-Rec. That's a good name. I like it.
I was giving it for wrecking a lot.
I feel you. I should change my name to something wreck too, because I wreck all the time.
Yeah, I was. It was back when I owned an RC shop locally, and I was getting into flying FPV, and so customers all the time and people that were there like doing our crawler course or our indoor track would I didn't really like land. I just kind of like would come in, cut the throttle, let it roll a couple times, pick it up when I first started, and I treated my crawlers and my RC trucks pretty much the same way because I owned an RC store, so I had parts, and yeah, a couple guys started calling me D-Rec, and it stuck.
So that's one of the hardest things to learn about FPV is land, like coming into land.
Yeah,
Um,
now I just tell people do a little circle, man, do a little circle, a little orbit, and whoop.
I'm so good at flying now that I crash almost every pack, so I just go pick it up off the ground. I don't have to worry about coming back. But I could never land, man, forever. Then like you'd always, if you're trying to mess with your camera angle a little bit, if it was like higher than like 20ish or something, I could never see the ground.
Yeah,
That's funny,
constant
man.
battle.
That's cool how you got your name. I like that. I usually always ask that question, and you answered that one right off the bat, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you guys don't know D-Rec, he's definitely an OG. I don't know how long you've been into the hobby, um, but I know you've been in it way longer than me because when I first got into it, you were within the top probably 6 or 7 YouTube channels I found. I used to like love
Oh,
your cinematic stuff. Your like your waterfall dives; those were so awesome. Like it was like inspiring to want to try to do stuff like that. But I live in Ohio, so
yeah.
I might be able to like dive a river dam or something's about all I got.
Well, one of the main waterfalls you see on there, Watson Falls, that one's like just under an hour and a half from my house. And I've been going up there since I was a little kid, hiking up there. And so the first time I got to go up there and fly, and my best friend Nathan Baker, Nate on he Banff decals, he went up there with me. I think that was I want to say 2016, and I flew it like with the actual 5 inch because I flew it before that with a different a TBS Discovery. But either way, anytime people come to West Coast Throwdown, the Monday after the event, I always take a group up there. Whoever's up for it, we head up there from Whistler's Bend after we're done at the event, done with West Coast Throwdown, and it's like I want to say 45 minute to an hour drive, depending how chill you take it, and then it's a not too bad of a hike, and then you're flying a 293-foot waterfall right there.
That's awesome, man. That's definitely worth the drive.
Yeah, I
Uh,
always try and convince people plan for an extra day. I think the biggest group we've had up there was probably about 12, but only about six of us were flying. But it's fun. You got like you're just coming down from this high of West Coast Throwdown, and when you go to like a big event like that, after you've packed everything and all the hard work, it's just like can be kind of a downer. But when you have Watson Falls to look forward to, it's like it's a whole nother level because then you leave on a high.
that's probably peaceful too, isn't it? Like that's just like a peaceful spot to fly.
Yeah, it really is. Even like I don't like hiking uphill. Nobody does. Well, I mean, some people do, but
No normal
it's
person does though.
it's so like there's a reason I live where I live, man, and just being up there in the woods and just the water like because it's just a little creek like going by when you're hiking up there and it's just refreshing, man. It really is. And when I occasionally will go back and watch some of my videos, sometimes some nights we get stuck watching some of our old videos,
Yep.
and the ones that stick out in my mind are when I have like a third person view and somebody's has video of me walking up the trail of Watson, and like one of them I've got an X Class strapped to my back for it, even walking up there, and those just always like stir my memories and emotions because I remember what I was thinking walking up that hill,
That's
and I know
cool.
that it gives other people that feeling, so I love sharing it.
I think, man, if I just went back and watched some of your old stuff from like whenever I've been into FPV. Let me think. I think it was 6 or 7 years, and it was 6. It was 6 years. It's been about 6.5 years now. But I went back and watched some of your videos from back when I first started, and I think I watched one. I think I watched one with you walking up with the next class because, like I said, Ben, when I was new, like you were in the top 10 channels I found first off. Anyway, I don't know where the numbers were at, but you were one of the definitely one of the first 10 that I found, and I used to like the vlogs and you hiking. That stuff was cool, man.
Yeah, makes me feel even worse for falling off, dude. I I've thought about changing my channel name to Direct Does It, and I've thought about this a lot lately. And because not only do I do the FPV stuff, and obviously have a continuing passion for that, but I'm into the three wheelers and I'm into the retro video games. And I've got a pile of stuff behind me. I have a flea market thing I'm doing this weekend, but uh, just I do a lot of different interesting things in the old cars and stuff. And I was thinking, man, I could be a little versatile and still do it, but the thing I have the hardest time with is sitting down to edit. And it goes back to that saying, the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Because if I sit down and edit one video, then I'm like, I kind of want to edit another video. But when I haven't edited one in a while, I'm like, man, I really don't want to open up the editor. And it's going to be so much work picking a song. And I just get in my head. It's dumb, but we all have excuses.
Do you still fly pretty regularly?
Yeah, not as regularly as I did, years ago. And there's no good excuse for that. I have a beautiful park right up the road. I used to fly it all the time. I I I feel like I never stop working, and I need to address that. I have way too many things going, and I'm not making enough time to go do like some of these things I enjoy, like flying or even riding. Uh, so yeah, I fly. It's been over a month since last time I flew, and before that it was a few months. And then I flew like a few times that month, and so it's kind of like here and there, and when I'm flying, I'll start flying a bunch, and then when I don't, I don't, and I'm working on other stuff, and yeah, I kind of give myself a hard time about it because I think about it, and I have obviously all the equipment at my disposal, just piles of stuff from over the years. Even like I could fly analog stuff and break it continuously if I wanted, but I also have some digital stuff. But West Coast Throwdown, I always go there like prepared to fly, and then I'm so busy at the event and just having a good time and just running the event that I don't. I might fly a pack like at the beginning and then at the end, and sometimes I'll try and squeeze one in the middle. But I always fly packs at Watson on Monday, no matter what.
I want to say what's up to a couple people. Let's see who else. My optic. What's up? And then they've asked you if you're going to IO this year.
Oh, I see. I have the chat over here now. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Stacy, what's up? Who else? Somebody else popped in and said what's up. I feel you about flying though, man, too. Especially if you've been in for a while. Like sometimes it's hard, man, to stay motivated. Then like I was just talking to Hypnos today. Like I'll go a couple weeks. I don't usually go a month without flying, but I might go like 15, 16, 17 days, and then I'll make myself fly. And then like I always have so much fun, even if I go by myself. But it's like it's hard to get motivated sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, if you're working a lot or real busy, then you get some chill time, and then you just want to chill. You don't want to go do something.
Yeah. I struggle with chilling these days. Like if I'm trying to watch a movie or a show, I'm probably doing something else with my hands. Cleaning a video game piece or
So
working on my laptop on Armatan or West Coast Throwdown stuff or just doing something. But yeah, I just need to go escape in the woods for a weekend, take my quads and my trikes with me, and just have fun. Quads as in my drones, trikes as in my three wheels.
that's cool. You're into vintage gaming. Me and my older son, he's 19 now, but when he was probably, I don't know, like probably like 9 to 12 or something around that, for a few years, me and him, that was like one of our hobbies, and we'd like buy like big bundles on eBay and like go through and like tear them apart and clean them up and try to fix them. And most of the time, it seemed like they just needed cleaned up and that they would
Yeah.
work. Like take them apart and clean everything. But that's cool, man. That's like we still have like Nintendos. We have like a couple of the old Odysseys. Uh,
Oh,
um, I think we probably have 4 or 5 of the Odysseys. We don't have
really?
we don't have the first one. What's it called? Like the um, some I forget. The first one was one we always wanted. We never got it, but we have like I don't know. We still have a pretty decent collection.
Huh. Well, yeah, I have a Odyssey 2 with a pile of games. I've had it for months, and I just haven't tested or done anything with it. Uh, that came as like a bulk lot a few months ago. And then just before we started this, I was testing an old Panasonic 3DO that's
Oh,
ultra
cool.
rare.
I've never.
Um,
I don't think I've even seen one of those. We
yeah.
we have the Nintendo, the GameCube, or not the GameCube. What's it called? The 3D one.
Um, that's
Nintendo.
it. This is a Nintendo N64 right here. This is a GameCube.
We have the one with the goggles. The
Oh, like the PlayStation 4 VR?
no, it's like the Nintendo. It's Nintendo, but it has the Nintendo 3D or something like that. Hold on. I can't believe I can't think of it. It's not a three.
Oh, are you talking about Virtual
Yeah, the
Boy?
Virtual Boy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all bright. It's like super red, hurt your eyes.
yeah, we have that too. What's up, Den Star? What's up, Technique? What's up, Hammer? What is up, Onyx? What's up, Technique? What's up, Freedom? Who else came in? You guys don't go anywhere. We're going to be giving away. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Is it Armaton or Armatan? I know people say it different, but
It's however you want to say it.
uh,
But Armatan
I
is
like I say Armatan. We're going to be giving away an Armatan Tadpole 2.5 before the stream's out, so you guys don't go anywhere. And huge shout out to Hypnos. I didn't even mention this, and Hypnos is on it. I'm raising money for Fly Tribe for the freestyle contest, and for every $100 that I raise during my streams, I give away a Fly Tribe T-shirt, and all the proceeds go to them for their freestyle stuff. But we already reached our goal. Thanks, or no, we. What was the goal? Yeah, we reached the goal. Hypnos got us to the goal. Um, so we'll be giving away a Fly Tribe T-shirt later, also. And also, Hypnos gave me a cool thing for giveaway. Like it's you guys will see. I have a new way to do giveaways. It's really cool. We'll see that tonight. But if anybody else wants to donate, it's in the chat. It's tip the stream. It all goes to Fly Tribe. But I appreciate it, Hypnos. Thank you. Um, all right, cool. Sorry, man. I got off a little bit. If you ever old video games are cool, man. I saw you had a booth and stuff. Is that a flea market like every day that people can go to and shop at every day, or how's that work?
Yeah. I think like in the Midwest and East or whatever, they call them flea markets. At least in this area, and it's they're like an antique mall, and
Yeah.
some of us still call it a flea market. So I think flea market's like the most common name, but this particular one's open 7 days a week, 10 to 5. So there's always somebody there, just manning. There's two people there actually at all times, and so if somebody needs to get into like a locked case, they go out there and lock it. If somebody is carrying around something, they'll always be like, "Hey, you want to put that up front?" For a couple of reasons. One, because if people have free hands, they'll grab more stuff, but also obviously for security reasons. And my booth is like right by the front counter, so I could not do the type of booth I have with all of the video games just right there where you can grab them, grab the manuals, grab the discs. I could not do that if it was not by the front counter where it is. So that's part of why we decided to go for it, is because of that particular spot they had available. We're like, ooh, if we're ever gonna do it, now's the time. So we've had it almost 3 months now, I want to say.
We have place we call them antique malls. We have stuff like that too, but I don't know if I've ever seen like video game stuff in there. That's crazy to say that that stuff's antique. That means we're getting old.
Well, yeah, they call it Winston Now and Then Antique Mall. So there wasn't any other video games in there, like maybe like two games in a random booth somewhere or something like that. So when I asked her about it, the owner, she was like, because she knew that would probably mean a new audience, and they absolutely love us. We have brought in a completely different demographic than they're used to having, and they're loving it. Our neighbors, like the booth right next to us, he's actually adjusted what he carries and what he puts in his booth to play off of the ripple effect that we're creating. So it's just a fun random thing we decided to do, and it's working.
So
But it is a lot of work, prepping, cleaning, testing everything to put in the booth.
that
And pricing.
yeah, I feel you, man. Like I said, me and my son, we were into it. And I sold on eBay usually when I would resell stuff, or like Facebook Marketplace. But it was, I mean, it wasn't to really make money. It was more just to have fun with my son and to like we'd get cheap stuff. You know what I mean? Like if we needed a Nintendo and we could buy a bundle of Nintendo stuff from somebody and they get a Nintendo for free or something. It's
Yeah,
just
and
like
especially if you're like willing to clean them, and he gets to learn that skill. That's super
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oh, it was real fun, man. Like um, I don't know. We like I said, we still have like big 3 or 4 of those big like blue totes full of like old video game stuff. It's kind of cool. Like I don't know. My kids still play Wii. I mean, I know that's not that old, but like we have like a PlayStation. Like one of my kids has a PlayStation 2 in their room. They'll play games on sometimes. It's like so that's not super super old, but we still do have a bunch of the old stuff from like the 60s and
Yeah,
70s.
people are starting to refer to Wii stuff as retro now, which I guess it's on that edge. And then like the next big thing that a lot of people in that side of the industry are talking about is PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games, because right now you can find them everywhere. Uh, but that demographic or that age group is coming of age, but they want to spend money on stuff that reminds them of their childhood.
That's
And
like the third generation gamers now, and I
something,
guess
yeah, dude.
that's crazy. The, the Instar, that sucks, man. Um, I know, like my first, I had an Atari was my first gaming system, and then my neighbor had a Nintendo, and like I was like would always want to go over to his house and play because it was so much better than an Atari. Like I'd go play Mario at his house and go home, and I'd be like, this sucks.
That's funny.
Playing ET on an Atari or something like the stupidest game ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now you're really trying to. That's you just went for like the worst Atari game basically, but you know.
I know it's like we end up. I think I still have one. I think I have ET, and there's a lot of people probably watching. They're probably like, "What the hell are they talking about?"
Yeah, I'm reading the comments. It's cracking me up. Yeah, Onyx mentioned Duck Hunt,
Duck Hunt, yeah, that was fun.
a little known thing that I've seen a bunch, and I don't remember if I ever tried it as a kid or not. So I really should try it. But supposedly you plug in the right controller, the second player controller, and then that person can control the duck.
I
And I've
saw
heard
that. I saw like a TikTok or reel or something of that. I
I've
didn't.
heard that since I was a kid, and I never got around to trying it. And I literally have like 7 Nintendos sitting here and a CRT TV. Like, I should try it, dude.
You should. I didn't know that. I never heard that until this probably 3 or 4 months ago. Papa
Yeah.
Grizzly says it works. And another, I'll give a shout out.
Ooh,
Huge shout
sick.
out to huge shout out to Papa Grizzly. I was having stream issues and I thought it was my PC, but it was my internet because there was an update and my router wasn't compatible. But Papa Grizzly hooked me up with a PC because he felt sorry for me, and now I have a nice new PC. So huge shout out to Papa Grizzly. And he's up past
I'll
his
be right
bedtime.
back. I'm gonna go grab something to show somebody in the chat that
All
just
right.
mentioned something.
What's up, Fly Zone? Fly Zone, I'll pay for my jersey tomorrow. I was talking to Onyx, and I saw your message. I just haven't paid you yet. You guys didn't know we'd be talking about video games, huh? Definitely, Onyx. I have an Intel Vision, Stacy. Um, I think it's in my son's room right now on display.
One of these?
Oh, it's not in the box.
Yeah. I just, it's cool. Nobody knows what it is. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, dude. Add that to the pile.
So you're going to like a video game show or something this weekend?
No, we've got out there where we have the booth. It's in a little town called Winston, which is like 5 miles south of Roseburg, the city I live in. And that's the nicest antique mall in the area. Well, I was gonna say a junkie one here in Roseburg, but it's the name of it is literally Junk Junkies. But but either way, Winston does a citywide yard sale on that weekend, next weekend, this weekend, whatever day it is. Today's Wednesday, yeah. So on Saturday every year, the first Saturday of June, they do a citywide yard sale. So on that same weekend, the Antique Mall opens up all of their parking lot, that huge parking lot that's out in front of it, and lets people be vendors. So I'm gonna have to go down there at like 5 in the morning to try and grab the spot I want. That's right in front of the Antique Mall, basically. Not excited about getting up that early, but yeah. So it's just gonna be like a flea market. I'm gonna have a couple of my 3-wheelers there. I was just thinking I might even bring some drone stuff, but I'll have a bunch of video game stuff and just other random old antique tools and just things that you would take to a flea market. I've never done it before.
So are you into vintage gaming, like playing it, or you just like to?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely. That's what
cool.
led to this. Like,
Okay.
because I just started doing the reselling like 3 months ago.
All right.
Well, I mean, I was selling like some stuff on eBay, like maybe 5 things in the 5 months before that, uh, but yeah, the reselling part is new, so that I could build the things I actually care to collect, which is the original Nintendo,
That's yeah. That
original Super Nintendo, a Game Boy, Sega Game Gear, and then any of the old Game Genie peripherals. Those are the main things I collect.
that's like that. Me and my son, like I saw on like Facebook Marketplace one time, like an Atari with like 15 games, and I was like, oh my god, I had one of these when I was a kid, and then I bought it, and then me and him started playing it, and that's how like our addiction started. Like, and then like I said, now we got all kinds of stuff. Like we sold some stuff, but mainly we kept most of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Papa Grizzly, if your wife's from Roseburg, that makes it even easier to convince her for the entire family to go to West Coast Throwdown. At West Coast Throwdown, you'll find way more family, like significant others, children, in-laws, parents, grandparents. You'll find way more of that at West Coast Throwdown than any drone event in the world, period. Just because of the venue. It's gorgeous. The river surrounds it. But your wife probably knows that if she's from Roseburg. Ask her about Whistler's Bend, and then come to West Coast Throwdown and tell all your friends to come. It's in what? Not even like 3 weeks. Just over 3 weeks away.
That's not too far away from us. It's like 2,000 miles or something, Papa Grizzly. Well, he knows I'm there if his wife's from there.
Yeah.
I think
Throw
I
that
think
line out again.
I think it is about 2,000 miles.
He's sitting here nodding. He says, "Yeah." Well, and for the first 8 years of West Coast Throwdown, we held the event the second to last weekend of August, and his wife would know about this too, of this area. I mean, anywhere in the world, really, at least on the northern hemisphere. Uh, Now the event is the last weekend of June, and Whistler's Bend is already beautiful, just gorgeous place, and that whole drive, if you can continue out the highway towards Watson Falls and all that, is, I think, the most beautiful drive in the state. I'm a little biased, obviously, but like it is. It is. But Whistler's Bend at the in the June and that whole drive, it's all bright green. It's right at that phase where it wants to start going yellow, and sometimes goes yellow a little early, sometimes a little later. But in August, it's like mostly yellow except for all the green trees. In June, you've got a bunch of green grass too, and the park is just absolutely gorgeous. And they run a lot of disc golf events out there. There's a 27 hole disc golf course out there that's well known in the disc golf community, and they run events before and after on the weekends before and after West Coast Throwdown. So because of that, they're doing a bunch of extra mowing and upkeep. So, I mean, the whole park that time of year is just so gorgeous. It's really pretty. And if you play disc golf, bring your discs.
What this is? Did you say the 8th West Coast Throwdown?
10th. So
10th?
the first 8 were at the second to last weekend of August. Last year, we did it the last weekend of June, which is our new permanent date. Because it was always the same weekend. We never changed it. It was always the second to last weekend of August. I, I think right in the beginning, we were like, it was always at the end of August, period. But we moved it permanently to the last weekend of June last year, largely because of fire concerns, because there was a fire the 8th year in August when everything's dry. And to avoid any future concerns or issues with that, and frankly, to be allowed to continue running the event, we had no choice but to move it into June, which we were stoked about. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's just the best time of year. And it's a week after the longest day in the year, June 21st. So that means we also have more light for our daytime activities.
So, how long have you been into FPV? Over 10 years then, I guess?
Yeah, yeah. So in 2013, I started building just like big drones. Like I think the last big boy I built was a Gaui Y6 with a KK2 on it. And that would have been about 2013. And then in 2014, I opened up a local hobby shop called Next Level RC Pro. And what led to that is I had the Lowe's Mini Tees, the little trucks, and I was buying parts for them off of eBay. And I ended up buying parts lots, and I'd end up with a bunch of parts for other cars I didn't care about. So I started selling those parts on eBay. And then after a year or so of doing that, I had piles of parts. So I started, decided to open a store. And so the year I opened the store in 2014, I ended up with a bulk deal from something with Hobby King. It just kind of worked out, and they had a Fat Shark account, and I was able to get a little stack of Fat Sharks with the cameras and everything. And I think it was, I don't remember if that came. That came first, because then I put a couple of those cameras in our little RC trucks. They're called a Dromeda.
Yep, I've had
Tower Hobbies. We sold more Dromedas out of my little shop, and it was just a little shop. We were never anything big than anybody in Oregon. Because we had a whole racing program built around them on our 18th scale race course inside, and we we raced them all year long. We did circle track with them. We did off road with the jumps. We did on road only. Because we could pull the jumps out. But yeah, that's a whole another story. But I put a couple of the FPV cameras in those, and then I would let people sit in our other little activity room with goggles, and because people could rent cars, so this was an additional thing they could do. And then I was, like I said, already into the big drones, and then I ended up building out a TBS Discovery, and it had a UHF system on it and stuff that a buddy helped me with, and that was my first FPV drone, which I flew to the top of Watson Falls way back then. So that I want to say I start to FPV. I started in 2014. I may not have put a camera in the air until 2015, but I'm not positive on the dates right there.
I mean, that's OG status. So that's like you're the very beginning of FPV.
Yeah, I've seen some things, man.
That's crazy, man. I had Trappy came on one time and Zoe, and they were around that era too. I think they were like 2013, 14, 15. That's crazy. That's like I got in 2018, and you guys were like where I am now.
uh,
To like,
Trappy's way further back than that.
yeah, he
Just to
might have been.
clarify.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
might have been 2010 or something.
I want to say 2007 is that wing video that he has, if I remember
Oh,
right. Somebody in the comments might know,
I
but I
forget,
think
man. I was shocked when he said he was. I was shocked how long he'd been in.
yeah, yeah, that's the true OG right there, man.
Yeah,
On that type of stuff.
yeah. It's like listen to him tell stuff. I was like you kind of. So you're like you're the end of the first generation of people coming in, probably. Then
Something like
you still had like crazy learning stuff. I'm sure.
Yeah, I got some fun stories.
We like
I mean,
we.
even I know a bunch of my friends that know me or talk to me in person, just like going back to the origins of things. Uh, I was I was there for the birth of the Tiny Whoop because I had a Horizon Hobby account,
Oh, that's cool.
and Jesse Perkins and I were Facebook friends or whatever. It was a small FPV community back then, comparatively, obviously, and Horizon Hobby would not let him buy the Tiny Whoop frame, or I mean the Inductrix, the Blade Inductrix frames.
That was my first. That was my first FPV drone.
Yeah, well, and that's so the Blade Inductrix, with no camera. That is what Horizon Hobby put out, and then I might get some details wrong, but then Jesse, took one of those and put a camera on it. Literally, that part's accurate. And then from there, he wanted to buy the frames in bulk so that he could put a bunch of little cameras on them and sell tiny whips. But Horizon Hobby wouldn't do it. And now we know in hindsight, because it takes Horizon Hobby a long time to put out a new product, but they were working on the Inductrix FPV clearly, and that's more than likely assuming why they didn't want to sell him a bunch of frames, which I didn't know all that obviously, but I ordered for him. I want to say it was like 500 of the Inductrix frames, and they all showed up on the same day that I was having a huge crawler event at my store that I was running, because we had four, one, two, three, four crawler courses at the store outside. So during the event, I took all these boxes, went to FedEx down the road, and shipped them to Jesse so that they could get everything quickly, and that was the first big batch of tiny whoops. Those frames went through my little store.
I
Just one random story.
that well, I mean, that's cool. Like I just looked it up. November 23rd of 2008. So November 23rd, 2008 is when Trappy posted that video, that wing video.
See, when he's up in the building, right, and he flies out the.
I don't know. It just said first FPV flight, and I didn't really watch it. But yeah, the tiny, that's cool. You had the birth of the tiny whoop helped in that.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's just fun to be and I've been involved in so much just fun stuff behind the scenes that it's just really rewarding in its own way when I start seeing other things popping up currently, and it's just thinking about how it got there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like how How long did you work in like customer service too, like helping people? You've done that stuff forever too, haven't you?
Yeah. Long before I opened the store, I had worked in sales and customer service and sales management, and and then I decided to open the store, and I left the job that I was at, where I was working for a conglomerate of different companies. Some of them were like catalog companies. You know, you the paper catalogs. You'd call and order something out of this catalog, like even like Big Dogs, you know, stuff like that. Uh, uh, Pendleton blankets, those types of things. But then also on the other side, we were working. I was running customer service as part of the sales manager for companies like Revlon and a couple other big makeup and skincare type companies. And so it was a bunch of different companies. Some we did a little bit for, some we did a lot for. And then I left all that to open my store in 2014, which I closed in 2017. Realistically, because I just never had the capital to get what I like to call that Walmart or Sam's Club effect, where you walk in for one thing and you find 20 other things you need. To have a successful brick and mortar hobby store, you have to have a lot on the shelf, and we struggled with that. So in 2017, I closed it, and I continued doing at that time some FPV commercial work, and working. I went back to work and doing the same sales management, but instead I was more hands on with the agents, listening to their calls and just helping everybody, making sure that we were doing our jobs properly. Because it's all incoming calls. It's not one of those things where you were calling people. We were answering calls for these companies. Um, so I left that. I just kind of got tired of it because they were going a different direction, and I just wasn't happy with it. And I was already working in the industry behind the scenes with a little bit of consultation or consulting, whatever you want to say, whatever I want to say, and doing some of the drone work. And I was just like, some stress from the hospital. That's what it was. I remember the moment, and there's even a video on YouTube where I don't talk about it, but I in the video, but I know that's the video. I got shingles, and I was like 30. I don't know what year are we talking about. 2018.
Yeah.
So I was 38, well 37, going on 38, and I got shingles, which was crazy. And they said it was from stress and all this, and I knew it was like work induced and everything. And then I already had this job lined up with these rock climbers to get footage of these rocks for them and footage of them climbing. And we had to hike in like 2.5 miles, and this was literally scheduled a couple days after I was in the hospital, not in the hospital, but urgent care with shingles. And as part of that job, I got a brand new GoPro. I think it was a Hero 6 actually, and it was the first time I had gotten like a brand new camera like that. And so I made this short video, and that was the moment where I was like, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. And even though I didn't have something lined up, I knew that I couldn't physically and mentally continue to do that job. So I left, and I made a post on Facebook and put it out there and said, uh, I'm ready to work in the industry. And I did have something else lined up that was actually here in Roseburg. So I did have a backup, but I said I want to work in the industry, and that's when I got picked up by RDQ in 2018 and became their customer service manager. And I met some amazing people while working for them. Rotor Riot became part of that partnership at one point, so I was the customer service manager for Rotor Riot as well, and I was doing all of that remotely, obviously, from here in Oregon. And the previous owner of RDQ, everybody I've worked with now over there seems like great people, but the previous owner of RDQ um, was not a person that I wanted to work for. And it took a little, I'll put it that way, and it took a little bit to figure that out. And I was offered a position by Surge over at Pyrodrone several times throughout that year. And then in 2019, he messaged me and said, "Hey, I really hate to see you work for that guy." And he was right. And I said, "Let's talk." And I went to work for Pyrodrone in 2019.
Well,
And Yeah.
I'll give you a shout out. And you can tell Serge too because I've spent thousands of dollars at Pyrodrone, and like you helped me with something from there, and like it went so smoothly, and like I'd watched your YouTube stuff back then, and then like I saw your name, I'm like, oh my god, I was like, that's D-Rec, he's helping me, and like it was so smooth, and like until my friend opened Rect, which I still shop at Pyrodrone if Rect doesn't have what I want. But like Pyrodrone's been my go-to store ever since because you helped me out, and it was just like it was so smooth. Like it was like my issue was handled within like a day or something, and I had like I can't remember what it was. I think I had like I bought a toothpick or something, and the receiver just died. Like, and I don't think it was my fault. I was new.
Oh,
It could have been my fault, but it was handled like within a day. Like
right
within
on.
within 24 hours, I was like, Pyrodrone's my go-to now, and they're still one of my go-tos.
That means a lot, man. Like, that's a huge part of why I continue to love what I do. Is I was there in the beginning, like trying to figure out this stuff when there wasn't YouTube videos telling you how to do it, and then over the years, slowly there's more and more videos, and I mean, don't get me wrong, just like with any industry, and there's always people that can ruin it for everybody. Uh, there's some bad apples, but realistically, 99% of the customers I've dealt with in any of the companies I've worked for are great. And a good 50% of those are even what I would call rewarding because you know that you like made it so easy for them. Not only because they responded and said like, "Oh, my kid's stoked, thank you," but even if they didn't respond, but you gave them the fix or whatever, it's still just a good feeling. And so it means a lot to me when I hear like those stories, and I struggle with taking compliments. So I'm like trying not to look awkward while you're telling the story,
Yeah,
but
I mean it
but
was
I
like
appreciate it.
it was cool in both ways because like my issue was resolved really fastly, but then it was like I was new in the hobby and like your channel, I was like, I don't know, when you see people find people on YouTube, you're like, oh my god, that dude's a YouTuber, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, he's helping me. Like it was like the whole, it was just a cool situation.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So that's like I definitely want to tell you that too. That's like I was going to tell you that before we started, but then I was like, I'll just wait. I'll tell him on stream.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and so I was with them for like a month less than 5 years, so 5 years, and they were moving into a new building, and part of the new partnership that they were doing with somebody or something, I'm not sure. They couldn't have any more remote employees. They needed everybody in house. So I made a not a post, but we have an FPV support workers group chat where we will talk about, have anybody seen this problem, from different stores. There's a bunch of us in there. Me and Mike Chin created the chat a few years ago. And I mentioned in that chat, hey, before I say anything publicly, I'm going to be looking for work. And then Evan Turner hit me up and wanted me to come work for 533 because they were doing some restructuring. And I love Evan and Kevin and his dad Kevin, and I just love all the people over there. So I was like, man, this is a perfect match. We're equally passionate. I'm not. I've never really been into the racing side of it because I just live in a spot where it's hard to have a racing community unless I travel, which I'm not going to travel a bunch to do that. I have a lot of other responsibilities, and it just I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, yeah. So Evan, I was like, it's a match made in heaven. I would love to work for those for 533, and so I've been there coming up on a year now, and uh, love everybody over there. It's been awesome. There's just some disorganization that they're working on, and part of doing that is to bring in everybody uh, to move in house. And there was only 3 of us that were remote, realistically, and 2 of those people are a husband and wife, and they're going to move to Knoxville, and so that they can work at 533, and they're taking on bigger positions to help 533. Me as the customer service manager, I'm not moving to Tennessee, and so my time with 533 ends on June 20th. So I currently don't know what I'm doing after that, whether I'm going to go full time into reselling and start pushing my eBay like I had many years ago, whether I look for work with another retailer, uh, or another FPV company. I mean, cause I obviously have a passion for that and would love to do that, even as a side thing still, or to get my Part 107, start doing some drone work again. I have most of the equipment I would need for that. Uh, yeah, so I'm kind of in limbo deciding what to do, and the timing. It's the month of West Coast Throwdown, and usually all of my spare energy is going into that, and and so I'm trying to stay focused on that, but also I'm like, I need to provide a living next month, you know. So interesting time for me, man.
Dang, man, that's are you glad to be moving on, or is it like are you sad or?
I'm absolutely heartbroken about it. I when I agreed to work there, I I thought I would be there for the next 5 to 10 years and watch them grow and help them grow. Uh, so I mean, no fault on theirs, no fault on mine. It's just some changes need to happen, and I think bringing people in house will help them with some of those changes that need to happen. And I can't be a part of going in house. So that's kind of what it's coming down to.
I think a local guy uh, that he runs a whoop racing around here. I think he's going to work for 533 Custom. Uh, I think he's moving there. He like lives close to me, and he just graduated college, and I think he's starting there.
Yeah, I mean it's a great crew over there. I think having everybody in house is going to absolutely help them with some of the struggles they've been facing, because everybody there is passionate and loves what they're trying to do for the community. So
Um,
I wish them the best, and I think they'll have an amazing future, and I'll support them every day.
Hypnos just said Custom just moved a week ago today to work there, and then I saw some questions from Papa Grizzly uh, about your shop there, and he said, "Have you ever flown at?" Uh,
Oh, Multnomah?
yeah,
No.
and then he said, "Was your shop
You're,
on Stevens?"
oh, my shop? Yeah, it was off of Stevens, back behind the DMV.
Um, so that sucks, man. So you don't even have a plan for after June 20th. It's already it's June 4th now.
Yeah. Well, I found out a week and a half ago ish, almost 2 weeks. No, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't even know. Like I said, it's the time of year for West Coast Throwdown too. So I'm like trying to focus on that, and I know that I'm not giving that my full attention because I'm also trying to focus on building up our booth a little bit, and I don't know, just trying to make a plan. And then obviously, I've got Armatan, uh, which I mean, we ship packages every day, but it's not something that could support me full time. So I can't just rely on that. It would hurt Armatan too much to do that. So, uh, financially, obviously. So
How long have you owned Armatan?
I purchased it in 2023. So, and I want to say 2017, maybe 2016. I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017. Maybe it was 2018. I don't know. Either way, Chris, the previous owner, messaged me. It was during that time when I had gone back to work, for the doing the sales thing right after I'd closed my store, and I posted a video flying at OC Brown Park, where I was flying down this little creek, and after I went under the bridge, I popped up to the treetop and then dove back down and went under and back up the creek. I just posted that, and then I went to work, and then on my break, like right at the end of my break, I saw that I got a message from Chris LaRoe, and I'm like, that's the owner of Armatan, and I didn't get to read it so like the next 2.5 hours, I'm sitting there doing my job, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to read my phone. Why is the owner of Armatan messaging me? And so I answered on my lunch break, was after that actually, and we had a little chat, and he just, he was like, I want to make sure, are you sponsored by any frame companies? And I'm like, no. And he offered me a sponsorship, and I mean, blew my mind. So that was part of the catalyst that made me leave my job, amongst the stress and other things. But just knowing that I that people cared, that people were watching what I was doing, and yeah, so I became an Armatan sponsored pilot, which I was up until the day I purchased the company, and we became friends over the years, and me and Chris, and then when I was at Pyrodrone, he wanted to offer warranty replacement here in the U.S., so I helped. Well, I created, helped out. We created this program where people could get their Armatan stuff warranted at Pyrodrone, because back then when Chris owned it, Armatan was located in Taiwan, and so he, just due to health reasons and other things in life, reached out to me one day, and asked if there was any way I could find a way to purchase the company, or if I couldn't, if I could talk to Serge about partnering with him to purchase the company, and me getting a half share at no investment, and he had these ideas, and I said, let me see what I can make happen, and I put everything on the line, everything, literally everything, even future things on the line, and we purchased Armatan and brought it to Oregon, and yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle ever since then, because I put everything on the line and didn't leave myself enough extra for the extra things. So like every little thing that comes up, it's just like, oh man. We just keep hammering at it, and I know that will come out in the end better than ever. Just keep putting it back into the company, and putting my time into it. And right now we're dealing with we got a bad carbon order like a couple months ago. One of these little fellows, you probably can't see it on the camera, but there's these little lines. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Those little lines right up there towards the top, they're running right there. All of the carbon had those lines on it on one side. Our whole order of like $5,000 worth of carbon. And so I went back and forth for over a month with the company, and we ended up at our expense shipping all of it back, and then at our expense paying for a new order with promises that the first order will be refunded. It's just this ongoing thing, and so we're waiting for our new replacement order, or even details on how soon it's coming, because we have Nutria pre-orders still that we just got one the other day. Somebody placed an order for a Nutria pre-order, so obviously we need to get in our carbon so we can ship those, and then we're out of stock of a bunch of frames because I don't have the carbon for it right now. So I'm exploring some other options, but I also don't have the investment to buy the order a third time. So, so it's just this ongoing thing. I just got to be patient, and luckily we have a lot of support in the community, and people are patient for the most part. So,
yeah, I mean that's
most of it.
Armatan's a household name in FPV too, so that has to help. It's not like it's a new company nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, exactly, and that I have a lot of guilt because I feel like I know that the company became less and less known before I purchased it already, just because Chris didn't have the health and time to continue to put into it. So that happened. But then I purchased it, all excited to bring it to the USA, and we've had exciting things happen, but also we're not doing anywhere near, shipping out anywhere near the amount of frames that they were before I brought it to the USA. So it's just, just keep hammering on it and pushing on it, because I'm passionate about it. There's plenty of people in the community passionate about it. So just
I
make the most out of it. And the way I look at it, and the way it always will be, is intended to be anyway, is a premium brand for premium pilots, and that's how I either want to market it, or how, because that's how I say it and how I think of it and how I view it in everything we do. I don't ever want to sell subpar parts on the Armatan website, and that includes the frames, obviously, to begin with, but any electronics we sell, anything, I want it to be premium stuff. Premium parts for premium pilots, premium frames for premium pilots, all the premium things for
that
premium pilots like you.
a premium frame to me, that's like one thing that needs to be premium too. Like other stuff like middle of the road stuff's good for like motors and stuff, but a bad frame that can cost you more money in the long run.
Yeah.
Like if you go buy a $30 frame and then it snaps in half and you smoke a $150 stack because your $30 frame didn't hold up, then
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of instead of fixing a $30 frame, you're fixing a $30 frame plus a $150 stack and whatever else blew.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things to ask, because we get warranty emails, because we also sell the only lifetime warranty frames on the market for over 10 years now, since 2012, actually. And so I get warranty emails every day. I probably have one right now. Let's see. Here's a new one. Oh, no, that's a question about O4 air units. Oh, yeah, this guy flew his drone under a drift car. So he said, where is it on here? He basically, I don't remember where he mentions it in here, because we have a conversation back and forth quite a bit. But he says that he literally like went under this drift car and then smacked a mirror on like a loader. And I remember one of the things he said, he's like, because Gymkhana, but he like smacked a mirror on a front loader, and that made him, that the drift car was going around, and that made him hit the ground, and the drift car ran over the drone. But he was so stoked that none of his electronics got smoked. Frame smoked. Well, actually, just the top plate and main plate, but the actual, it was a Marmot. The actual titanium cage didn't bend or anything, so it might not have got fully ran over on that part. But either way, all of his electronics, O4 system, everything came out perfect.
It got ran, and it was
Just
ran,
replacement parts, and boom.
and it was ran over.
Yeah, yeah.
That should be.
And I get a bunch of emails like that where people are talking about, and if they don't mention it, when they show me a gnarly one, like the picture of it, because we asked for a picture of the frame still assembled and a picture of the parts, and that's largely for research purposes and sometimes for my entertainment. And when I see a gnarly one, like I'll ask them, and I don't say we have to have the video, we never force that, but I'll ask them, I'm like, do you have the video? I want to see this, like what happened. But a lot of them, people talk about that their electronics were saved, and I take a lot of pride in that, and that I've represented that company, Armatan, for so long before it even became my company, and yeah, I feel very blessed on that part of it.
Yeah, I think people don't realize, like, if you cheap out on a frame, then you're gonna, all your other stuff's like, you can compromise your other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, imagine smoking a $600 build on a drift car,
Yeah.
and then you take it apart, and the parts that actually broke, you're getting for free. That's literally what happened to this dude. What was his name? Matthias Callio. I don't know where he's from, but
Uh, yeah, I've never heard that name.
.se, whatever country .se is for the email. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's a cool story to tell though about your frame, cause like can get ran over and it's your electronics are fine.
Yeah. I should start screenshotting like just the comment, just the part of the email, not the people's names and all that, of when they mention that their electronics survived. I should start doing that and make like a collage post or something. That'd be fun. So they read the comments.
We've been going for about an hour. I know I don't know how much more time you have, but I'm just giving you a heads up. We've been in an hour. I'm not rushing you. I just don't want you to run out of time, and I still want to do a giveaway and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I
No,
mean,
mainly it's not that I have a specific place to be. It's just that I'm trying to get a bunch of work done for that flea market this weekend. So yeah, I'm not. We're good right now, man.
all right,
I'll probably take off in the next 30 minutes to get back to what I was working on, but
that's
this is
cool.
I'm loving it.
Time just flies when you're streaming, man. Like I the stream how long it's on. It's like right up the top right of my screen, and I'll look up and it'll feel like I've been on for like 20 minutes, and it'll be an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it happens easy.
Props off. You got to wait for the. I want to do two giveaways today. Two props off. Thanks to Hypnos. If you guys want to donate for Fly Tribe, all the money goes to them for their freestyle competition. I'll give away a Fly Tribe shirt. We're already there, but you can help with the next $100 because Hypnos came through. And I'm also giving away a 2.5-inch tadpole. I'm giving away the tadpole no matter what. Well, and the shirt because we reached the $100 goal for the stream. So thank you guys, and I want to thank my patrons too. I haven't done that yet. Thank you to my patrons. You guys help with giveaways. Hypnos, Onyx, Red, Bullfrog, That Guy Fly, Wreck, Ohm, Dinstar, Lambo, Smags, Papa Grizzly, String Bean, Big Oily, and my newest patron is Dead Kenny. Thank you guys. You really help with the giveaways. So thank you. I have to get my commercials out of the way while I think about it. If not, I'll be
Hey,
like,
you got it, man.
I know I always forget to shout people out and say stuff. Then I'm like,
I mean, while we're doing that, I'm going to mention West Coast Throwdown again.
Go
You
ahead.
can go to learn more. You can go to the page on Facebook. It's just West Coast Throwdown. The event page is West Coast Throwdown 2025. And the website is just www.westcoastthrowdown.com. And it's the last weekend of this month. It is one of the most beautiful places in the country. Let's see, the 26th, Thursday the 26th through Sunday the 29th. And then on the 30th, I'm taking a group up to Watson Falls. All of the main campsites have been taken, but there's still a bunch of room in group camp. Group camp is awesome. There's still like individual areas. It's not like you're all in a circle in one spot. Group camp's like the spread out area where you just kind of go pick a spot, and there's still little spots for a fire pit and all that. So if you haven't been to West Coast Throwdown, this year's the 10th annual, and it would be a great time to come out. We have a lot of cool stuff going on that we haven't done before, and all the cool stuff that we've already done before. All of it.
I'm trying to share West Coast Throwdown, but I can't get it to pop up.
Oh.
It's probably my phone.
And then I can share it in the chat. There's this.
Hold on, I'll have you typed anything in the chat? I can make you a moderator if you typed in the chat, and you can share links.
MFR, yeah, there's a bunch of hotels nearby. Cause here in Roseburg, there's a bunch, and Roseburg's like, depending what hotel you stay at, 15 to 20 minutes from the event. There's also like a little motel in Glide, which is the town just past the event, and I want to say that's about 10 to 15 minutes just the other direction. Jeffrey Hardy stayed with Adam. They stayed there last year in that little hotel. But yeah, no, there's a lot of people over the years who stayed in hotels throughout the area, and there's obviously Airbnbs in the area as well.
I'm thinking, thank you, Hypnos. Whenever you guys came to watch my stream, was it unlisted? Because for some reason, I made it public, and then I shared. Then I finished everything on it, and then I made it public. But then when I went to start the stream, it was unlisted, and I don't know why. But did you guys have issues finding the stream tonight?
It's still showing unlisted for me, but as long as somebody has the link, then it doesn't matter if it's unlisted. It's
Well,
just that people won't find it unless they have the link.
yeah.
That's the main issue with unlisted.
Well, the first one when I sent it to you, it was unlisted, and then I finished up the description and everything, and added the thumbnail, and and then like when I went to go live, it said it was unlisted. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, huh?
But I mean, we've had like there's 17 people watching right now, so it's
Yeah,
not.
Technic says that it shows public on his screen.
All right. Thank you, Tech. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. I don't know. Like I thought it was fine until I went to go live. All right. Thanks, Rogue. Thank you, guys. I just want to make sure I didn't do something crazy. I was looking, and you're not, and your channel's not tagged. Um, your channel's not tagged either. Thanks, Rogue, for subscribing. It just popped up in my feed that you subscribed. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, your channel was tagged too, and now it looks like it's not tagged. I don't know why. I'll have to go back
Yeah.
and fix it. But you guys definitely go check out his channel. He's an OG. I didn't realize you were that OG of an OG. I thought you were like 2016 OG or something like that. 2015. I didn't know you were
Yeah.
back in 2013 or 14.
If you go back to the beginning of my videos, they're actually from when I had the store,
All right. Yeah,
and just before that.
I used to watch your stuff a lot, like back when I first got in. Like I still watch FPV videos, but like I don't know if you like when you were newer, like that's all I watched was YouTube, like
Yeah.
YouTube videos of FPV. I was like searching it every day. I I
Yeah.
I don't do that now. I mean, I still watch people's stuff, but not like back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as thirsty because you got some knowledge. Now you're just looking for the tidbits to add to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I really enjoy vlogs too, man. I don't know. Like people are hit or miss with vlogs, but when people post a vlog video, like it makes you feel like you're there hanging out with them.
Yeah, and you just
Thank you,
gotta be
Tech.
consistent. That's what I struggle with.
Is being consistent.
Yeah, like posting on YouTube. Like I would just
Yeah.
be like, oh, I got some cool. Like I have so much footage. Oh my gosh, I have years of footage tucked away. But I would come home from a trip and be like, oh, I got this cool footage. I'm gonna edit this video, and and then do a video. So there was no like, and then as soon as the video was done, I would post it the next day. So there was no like consistency, like a weekly thing. Uh, and I feel like I could do that, but once again, like that's that saying, right? The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
um, I try to stay consistent. Like my goal for this year was to post like one video a week or like have a live stream just to be consistent because I would be like you. I would go fly and then I would post a video or like I would make if I flew like 2 days in a row, I would post two videos and then I might not post for 2-3 weeks. So now I
Yeah,
try to spread it out a little bit and then like I don't try to hoard my stuff, but like I try to put out better stuff, not just everything I do.
yeah,
But I enjoy editing sometimes. Sometimes I like it takes me a while to get started, but usually, man, I look forward to editing most of the time. It's like it's fun.
yeah, yeah. It's just the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm just pulled in so many directions, and to sit down and edit a video. I mean, that's an excuse. I mean, really, I could sit. I get too OCD about it, and that's a very true excuse. I see the pump stuff out. Like you just got to do it. You just got to like do it and start doing
Well,
it. And
I feel like too a lot of times like even if you think something's not good, somebody else is going to think it's great too. Like
yeah,
like you'll be too hard of a critic on yourself. Like well I'm not going to post that. That sucks. Or that's not as cool as I
yeah,
thought it was, and then somebody else would be like, "Oh my God, that was like the coolest thing I've ever seen."
Dude, I was looking at the metrics. It's a while ago now, but the metrics for the burnout contest video that I did, I think that's the second to most recent video that I have. And the only reason that got put out and done the way it was is because it was a local thing. And even though I wasn't getting paid for it or whatever, I was seeing all these people at the local car shows and stuff. They're like, when are we going to see the footage? When are we going to see the footage? So I was getting like person to person pressured. I'm like, oh, I got to go edit this video, man. But then before I edited it, I hopped on YouTube and watched a bunch of tutorials about speed ramping because it had been like 2 years since I edited a video, and I was like, how the hell do I do this again? And so that's why that video has the cool speed ramping. But either way, I was looking at the metrics for it, and it tells you like on Facebook how far through the video people get. And I'm like, I don't remember what the exact time was, but I'm thinking of all the work I put into the second half of the video, like getting the transition at the exact cut when the music would do its boop or whatever, and just doing all that to match. And I was like, damn it, and that's a failure on my part to not to make the video less repetitive and more engaging, because a huge part of the audience that watched that video were not FPV pilots. They were gearheads or just locals that wanted to see the burnout contest. And so that was a little lesson for me that I hear other creators talk about occasionally, about like breaking it up, adding something interesting in there so people don't get bored of just seeing the continuous woo, woo, which for a direct FPV audience is great, but I mean, can be great. But either way, it is a lesson seeing the metrics on that.
You want to play that video?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
All right, we'll play it. Let me see here. I'll get us a.
Let me see if I can.
I got it pulled up here.
I was just trying to decide if I wanted to mute myself so I could unmute YouTube and watch it, but maybe I want to say something. So I'll just leave it alone. Because it's time to the music, I wanted the effect.
I don't know how loud it's going to be. I might have to mess with it.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
I actually flew that mill when they were first starting to tear it down, too, and got some sick footage.
This looks cool, man. I didn't watch this.
Yeah, I've got this one matched to the music and all that. Like I put some time into it, and I felt like the need to do more after it, and then I didn't. I just got busy working on other stuff. Yeah, that other drone is just a local guy. I think it's Robert, if I remember right. Robert Bruce, I think. And I met at the event. We met online and talked a little bit beforehand, but yeah, that was kind of fun flying under him and stuff. Look at that! That guy's caliper was on fire.
Oh yeah, I like that van. I like that van.
Yeah, you see the dude doing the with the wheel right there in the window? I love it, dude. Bring back good memories.
What'd you shoot with this? Like a GoPro 10 or something?
Hero 7, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I had on. And this was a Nutria prototype.
Yeah, this is cool, man.
Yeah, he's just shooting fire. I'm like, I'm not flying over that sucker.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. It became obvious to me later why the end of it didn't get as much, because as it gets, like, this guy right here, people that were at the show know that he was like, he's a local burnout hero. Like he won one of the big Texas things. I don't remember. I think I think it was freaking LS Fest or something like that. But nobody knew he was going to be doing a burnout. And then he just came out of nowhere because everybody thought his truck was broke. That's what he was telling everybody. And he had it hidden like in a trailer. So he came out and did this burnout to end the night. And so it's just a cool thing locally. But once again, the people that aren't local don't know what was going on. They don't know what's going on, so it's less interesting. And that's where a little bit of a vlog input could be cool, you know?
I mean, I think it's a good video.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was cool. A vlog would be cooler though, but I'm a vlog person. I enjoy vlogs a lot, man. I know some people don't like them and some people do like them.
Yeah, but you're right though. The engagement, like you feel like you're there hanging out with the person. There's a 2-word term for it, and I can't remember what it is. And my wife and I were talking about this the other day. But one of the channels that I liked watching recently until he retired, totally not drone related, is a Demolition Ranch, Matt Carricker. And I really didn't watch much of his Demolition Ranch, but I did watch his vlog channel. I just thought it was interesting when they're like all the things that whether they're restoring the mansion they had or working on this ranch or all those other things. And when he retired, I was like kind of bummed, you know, because he was always usually upbeat and just had a good happy crew and his crew's moved on to another kind of a fun channel, but either way, it made me like think about that and realize like, man, you get emotionally invested in these people that have no freaking clue who you are.
I know.
And it's a normal thing. That's a normal thing, and that there's a clinical term for it. And I could not figure out what it was the other day. If I heard it, I would know it. It's 2 words. But yeah, you got to engage and talk to people and share your passion. And you can't do that as well, just at least not every time, with just a curated a video that's matched to music or something like that. Unless that's for your particular industry, what's pulling people in, like music videos.
What's
up? Musicians or whatever.
What's up, Fun for Volt? What's up, Mike Drones? I know, man. Like, I met somebody before, and they're like, I feel like I know you because, like, I vlog all the time and do streams. And I was like, I feel like I know you too. Then I was like, no, I don't, because I never even, like, spoke to him. But I didn't know what to say, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, that's funny. And I mean, it's fun to get to see some of that happen even at West Coast Throwdown. You get certain pilots that come every year or every other year that are well-known pilots, and people, or even not as well-known, but just like my old videos. I have less than 1,000 subscribers, but you knew who I was way back then, you know what I mean? Just because I was active in the community as well. So you get people like that at West Coast Throwdown or at big events. But I enjoy watching it when people like meet like this person that they've been watching on YouTube, whether it was, you know, Alex Vanover or Maddie Bluntz or Zoe, just these random people, and it's just fun watching people get excited about that. And then the atmosphere of it is just so chill. Like, you don't feel like you're rushed and have all the serious stuff going on. It's just, so they talk to you and share stories with you. And yeah, I love it. It's magical, man.
Yeah, like it's like me telling you a story like about like how you helped me, and I saw you from YouTube and stuff. I thought that was cool. I'm like, hey, that guy's helping me out like online, and I saw him on YouTube. It's like stuff like that is neat.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, so I'll probably have to get out here in about 5 minutes. So if anybody in the chat has any questions about stuff that we haven't talked about or about stuff that we have talked about, I'd love to stick around and answer some specifics for a few minutes.
I need to find a pin. My pin, I hope I didn't lose it. Guys, if you want to win a tadpole, type in the chat tadpole, and you have to go.
That's fine.
You have to go sub to Direct also to be entered to win. Let's get him to 1,000 subs. He's an OG for sure, and he.
Oh, I'll put out a new video if I mean, I'm close already, aren't I? I don't know. My channel's so old. That's pretty sad. If I get over 1,000 subs, I'll put out a new video. Then I don't have an excuse. But I'd be surprised if we get there tonight.
I don't know how many you were at either. I didn't pay attention.
Really?
I was shocked that you weren't at 1,000 though.
Yeah.
Like
the tadpole. You reminded me of another funny thing. So I don't know if you saw it on the Armatan page, but when we first purchased the company, but we had not announced, and we made clues that it was coming to the USA, but we hadn't like announced that it was. One of the videos that we posted, it was a new home, new pond, I think is the tagline of the post, and literally, it's a pond, and you can hear like the frogs in the background, and there's a tadpole drone sitting there, and then I think the other one was a gecko, if I remember right, and then after like 3 seconds or so, the tadpole just goes boop, and hops in the water, and the water splashes, and the video ends, and it got very little traction, and I thought it was freaking hilarious, dude. I thought it was so great, and I still have, my wife took pictures of like all the behind the scenes stuff, all the BTS, you know, and like because I have a fishing pole with a line attached to the little tadpole, and I go and just kind of whip it out there, and you can't see the fishing line in the video. And yeah, you just reminded me of that when you mentioned the tadpole. It's on the Armatan page if you go back and look.
I'll check it out.
Memories. Let me see if I can find it.
Here's who I got that's in for the giveaway right now. Technique, Hypnos, Props Off, Jenny D, Digital Cruiser, Wrong Way, Freedom, and Papa Grizzly. If you didn't hear your name and you entered, let me know. And this is thank you to my patrons for giving me your money so I can give other people stuff. I appreciate it. The community appreciates you guys too. Thank you guys.
There we go. I found the video and put it in the chat. I thought I was so funny, you know? It's like,
and you thought it
dad joke, I guess.
You thought it would go viral?
I mean, yeah. I thought people would laugh their ass off and seeing like a little one of our quads like pop into the water suddenly like that. But you know, but also to keep in mind, up until I purchased the company at that time, Armatan had not been making regular posts either, so there was no traction. That could have been part of it. But just trying to play over here. Yeah, well, I should probably be taking off. I haven't seen any other specific questions for me.
Let me do this giveaway real quick, and then we can end it. I'm almost done with it.
20-year-old YouTube channel, Fun for Volt. Dang, dude. Been doing it.
Yeah, I'll do this giveaway, then we'll get off here. All right, guys.
Repeat, West Coast Throwdown, 10th annual, longest running FPV drone event in the world, the original FPV drone festival. You gotta come. 10th annual, everybody, come.
All right, I got Freedom, Hypnos, Props Off, Jenny D, Digital Cruiser, Wrong Way, Freedom, and Papa Grizzly. If you entered and I didn't say your name, let me know. I'm double checking. And then I'll also, after you get off here, Derek, I'll do the giveaway for the for Fly Tribe for their contest. But I think I got everybody. Technique, yeah, you're on there, Tech. I got you. All right, you guys got to check this out. Hypnos came up with this. Or he didn't come up with this, but he sent me the link for this.
Props off. I love it.
Or not props off, Hypnos, sorry. I just came
No, I was just reading props off the
okay.
comment. That was awesome.
I thought you were saying. All right, guys, they're here to check out this new giveaway. Here we go, guys. Good luck, everybody.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Dude, I love the graphic. That's freaking awesome.
Papa Grizzly won. Congratulations, Papa Grizzly. I'm going to do one more giveaway in a second. So don't go anywhere. I'll give away. But the giveaway for the Fly Tribe shirt is for only people that's donated for the shirt or for their competition. So if you haven't donated to that, you're not in the giveaway. So if you want a chance to win a Fly Tribe t-shirt, all proceeds go to them. It's in Tip the Stream. It should be in the chat. But I'll give away a shirt in about 5 minutes or so. Derek, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, it's been
cool.
a pleasure.
Yeah, cool to hang out, and good luck with everything. And I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Absolutely. And anybody, if you ever have any questions for me, want to hit me up about anything, and haven't ever messaged me, go for it. And if I don't respond to your first message me again, because sometimes my inbox gets a little clogged. And I love talking to people in the community, so don't hesitate. Even better, come to West Coast Throwdown, and we'll sit down and have a chill talk. But have a good night, everybody.
I appreciate you hitting me up, getting back to me quick. It went smooth. But, yeah, man, I appreciate the time, and good luck. I hope you get a better job than what you had, and you like it better than 533.
Yeah. You know who I'd like to work for?
Who?
Wrecked.
Wreck? I'll talk to him.
No. Gem fan? You know, I have a few ideas. There's some companies that I have a lot of respect for that, you know.
I'll ask Wreck, though, for real, though, because I know them personally.
I've talked to him a little bit, like before I went to 533. Even I love Josh. All right, I gotta take off, brother. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope everybody has a freaking awesome night.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Don't go anywhere. Let me get this back up. All right, I want to give away a Fly Tribe t-shirt. But you have to donate to win this one because it's for their freestyle competition. So the link's in the chat for the Fly Tribe shirt, or for the Fly Tribe donations. It's the Tip the Stream. What's up, gang? So it's whoever's donated so far is Hypnos, Olfaxis, Smags, Red, Lambo, NRG, Fly Zone, Technique, Nut Tree, Donnie, Wallbanger, Ohm, Lambo, and Bagzilla all gets a chance to win a Fly Tribe t-shirt, unless you want to enter. But Olfaxis already won one, so I'm not going to put him in this one because I don't think it's fair to everybody else. But thank you, guys. I'll try to make this sweet. Or fast. I meant to say short and sweet, but I said sweet. I'm sorry I'm not talking. What's up, Donnie? Donnie, I'm getting ready to spin for a chance to win a shirt, and you're entered because you donated a couple streams ago. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to you guys. All right. Did anybody donate? All right, nobody else donated, so I'm gonna go and spin the wheel or not the wheel, the quad. That's cool. Thank you, Hypnos, for giving me this idea. This is for the Fly Tribe T-shirt. We raised all the money we wanted to raise for this stream. Thank you, Hypnos, for the crazy donation. Here we go. Is that coming out with any sound? I didn't even think about checking sound. Probably not. Fly Zone, I'm going to be on the West Coast until like the 15th. Bagzilla won. I don't even know how to get a hold of Bagzilla. If anybody knows Bagzilla, I'll have to find out what stream they donated to, but tell them to hit me up. But thank you guys for watching. Go sub to Derek Direct. His channel was tagged, but I don't know why it's not. I'll go fix it. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for donating. And I'll wait till I'm pumped up. Peace, guys. Thank you, guys.